Happy August, beautiful souls. Here is your energy report for August 2024. This is a month to really allow more space and silence and tranquility into your life if you want to be experiencing the spectrum of joy and possibility that will be presenting as the cosmic influences. So, not a month to be pushing hard, trying to achieve and, following that programming that comes from our Western society of, being ambitious and successful. This month is really for allowing your soul to break free and to shine in a much more subtle way. This is a month for experiencing more beauty in your day-to-day life and stopping and smelling the roses. Finding time to appreciate beauty in your life, because beauty can be a real bridge to the transcendental. It can help you reach those higher states of understanding and higher states of grace that are so necessary at this time if we are to be really stepping into our roles as spiritual beings of love on the planet. That means that we are tuning into our vibration that brings and anchors tranquility and harmony on the planet, especially at such a time when there seems to be so much turmoil in the world. This is really our calling here, is to remain anchored and calm and to have that kind of spaciousness that comes from doing years of meditation and years of inner work. So really drawing on our ability to be more patient with our own internal processes and just to tune into that space between the stars, or that rhythm of the cosmos, which is very still and tranquil. Because that's also where you're going to be experiencing more joy, not if you're rushing around from task to task or trying to bend over backwards to serve others first. Okay, we can also learn to serve others by being in a place of deep peace. Okay, what kind of challenges could arise this month in your personal and professional lives? Challenges will present as urgencies. So feeling this urgent need to act or react or to rush. So remembering that this month, rushing is not going to do you any favors. Okay, you might end up having to redo things or start over from scratch. You might end up forgetting something really important if we're rushing. Another challenge that could arise is just being impatient with others. In that way, you might tend to be a little bit more judgmental than you would otherwise. When you're impatient with others, you might come across as abrupt or curt. And we might not be able to draw on the sensitivity that is required to, again, be that beacon of peace and tranquility that the world needs right now. So other challenges that could present is that speaking out of turn. So offering advice or offering words when maybe somebody just needs more of a listen, or maybe they need a hug. So this is not the month also to push your ideas on people or try to convince them or change them, but rather being really present for people in what they are going through. And if you feel that you're not being listened to or you're not being received, then maybe it's time for you to book with your therapist, But don't try to get that from people who are hurting, or you can tell are really struggling right now or going through their own stuff. And being able to read the room this month. So again, we can't do that if we're rushing around. You need to be connected to your body. You need to be connected to the earth and the earth grids where you live, so you can really read the room or read the energy of the people you'll be interacting with this month. Try not to push expectations onto others this month, but instead just taking a step back and holding the frequency. It's also going to be a month where the challenge will be you will want that inspiration, you will want that sense of novelty and newness that comes with experiencing new things and getting out there and looking at things through a different lens. So the challenge here will be confronting that monkey mind or your programming that says, I can't afford to do that this month, or there's no time for that this month, I have so much to do. No, if you want to have those moments of joy and transcendent beauty and connecting with the divine, then you need to make time for that and allow your time for that. As you can see in this video, I made time this month to go to a special garden in Victoria and just be with the plants and be in a state of tranquility. I wanted to feast my eyes upon some really soothing different shapes. I really enjoyed looking at the different grasses and the bamboo. I found just the movement in that gave me a lot of solace. And I also really enjoyed looking at the plants and their different stages of fruition. And I could have very easily said, no, I'm just going to stay home and do some work, or I have, chores to do in the house. But I just knew that my soul was craving something a little bit different. I needed a change of scenery, and I really wanted to witness some natural beauty. And so that's what I made time for. So what are some of the spiritual themes that we'll be experiencing as a species this month? What are some of the collective energy themes that we might be challenged with? So there's this division energy that we've been struggling with as a species for a couple of years now, and we are deep in this. So I think that is one of the major themes that we'll present, is this it's like an old programming of wanting to judge and put people into groups and the us versus them mentality. So just being aware of that and trying not to get sucked into that, because that's going to be all over the media. It's going to be in the mainstream as a collective energy. And we are the ones leading the change in the world. We are the ones that need to unhook from that kind of programming and those automated responses that come from a different part of ourselves. It doesn't come from the light of us. It doesn't come from our future selves. It comes from the old, like the shadow and the old archetypes. That is very tribal, and it comes from needing a sense of safety as a people. So just unhooking from that, remembering that people are at different stages of their evolution. And just because something is common or it is popular doesn't mean that that is the way forward. So again, coming back to this being grounded in the body and taking a moment to stop before you say things, or a moment to stop before you jump into something. So being that force of change in the world that stops, so that we are unhooking from these unconscious archetypal patterns of judgment and division and polarization. And especially if we're looking for new ways of doing things, we have to draw upon the silence within. So if you're a person who values innovation, then the bridge to innovation this month is through inner tranquility and spaciousness. There is a great opportunity this month to do things in a new way with fresh eyes. to be able to expand on some of your skills and your gifts and do things in a deeper way, or approaching things in a way that you haven't before. It's kind of like when you're looking for a creative flow. So the spiritual growth here is in drawing on a deeper part of yourself and looking for new solutions to problems. So let's say that you always tend to meditate in the same place to get clarity on an issue. Maybe this month you need to go somewhere different and meditate. Maybe you move from sitting meditation to dynamic meditation. Maybe you try meditating in a group or during a class, or you incorporate sound healing or singing bowls, and just trying something new. So getting out of your comfort zone, but also giving yourself the space to do that. So, sometimes you might get frustrated when something isn't working for you the way that it usually does. So giving yourself that space and that patience to try something a different way, and just allowing those cobwebs to come out in the first 15, 20 minutes or whatever it is. It's like when you go for a run, and the first 10, 15 minutes can be really, really challenging, and then suddenly the wind is at your back and you're just taking off and it feels effortless and you're in flow. So setting your sights on maybe some bigger goals this month, not pushing in the old way from the mind, but you can set the intention to solve a certain type of problem, or to have more innovation or more beauty and novelty in your life, experience more joy, and then giving yourself the space and giving the divine cosmic intelligence space and time to fill that in for you, instead of you just rushing to fill the space with your old programming. So that's how I really think you can benefit from the cosmic energies for the month of August 2024. I hope you enjoyed this energy report. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.